222 million euros. Still, 9 years later, the most expensive transfer in football history. A $54 million penthouse in Dubai with a private elevator, 4 his cars, and a $1 million watch covered in 286 diamonds, which he bought in the middle of this World Cup. And yet, a few days ago, the man who owns all of it walked off a football pitch in tears, because the one thing he wanted most was never for sale. This is how Neymar lives and spends his millions. In this video, I'll take you inside the mansions with underground nightclubs and helicopter pads, the private jet, the gaming room built like a spaceship, and back to where this empire started, a small house next to a city garbage dump. Remember that dump. It's going to matter at the end of this story. Hit the like button early. If the story doesn't grab you, you can take it back at the end. Deal? Let's start where the money wasn't. February 1992. Mogi das Cruzes, Brazil. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. is born to a father who played football professionally but never made it big, and who would later become his son's chief advisor. The family settles in Jardim Gloria, a poor neighborhood in the coastal city of Praia Grande, right next to the municipal dump. His father has described how undeveloped the area was. And here's the detail people forget. The family lived there until around 2008, almost until the day Neymar turned professional. The most expensive footballer in history was living next to a landfill at 16. At 6, a beach football coach named Betinho spotted a tiny kid sprinting around the pitch and saw something unteachable. The coordination, the fearlessness. Futsal and street football did the rest. The tight spaces built the quick feet, the one-against-one instinct, the audacity. Everything the world later paid hundreds of millions for was forged on concrete, for free. The rise was vertical. At Santos, Pelé's club, he scored 136 goals, won the Copa Libertadores in 2011, the club's first since the days of Pelé himself, and took FIFA's Puskás Award for the most beautiful goal in the world, beating a goal by Messi to win it. Then Barcelona. 56,500 people showed up just for his presentation. Alongside Messi and Suarez, he formed maybe the greatest attacking trio ever. 363 goals in 3 seasons. And in 2015, he scored in the Champions League final itself. Twice he finished 3rd in the Ballon d'Or, behind only Messi and Ronaldo. And then, in 2017, came the number that changed football forever. 222 million euros. Paris didn't just buy a player, they lit up the Eiffel Tower in his honor. Now, the money machine. Because here's what most people don't understand about Neymar's wealth today. According to Forbes, in 2024, he earned around $108 million. This year, 38 million. But look inside that number. Only 10 million came from playing football. 28 million came from his name. Puma, Poker Stars, 241 million Instagram followers, more than most countries have people. Even his return to Santos was built this way. A reported 99% pay cut on salary, but with rights to up to 90% of the commercial revenue his name generates. Neymar's feet now earn less than his face. And the face earns plenty. During this very World Cup, he reportedly picked up that $1 million Jacob & Co. watch like a souvenir, adding to a collection valued around $8 million. So where does it all go? Buckle up. And note these details come from reports like Architectural Digest, since there's no public registry of a superstar's toys. The mansion in Mangaratiba, Brazil, reportedly around $8.5 million. 6 bedrooms, a wine cellar for 3,000 bottles, a private dock, a helipad, and an underground nightclub. Yes, a nightclub under his house. The Spanish villa near Barcelona, bought for around $5 million, previously owned by Ronaldinho, just down the road from Messi. A 7-bedroom estate outside Sao Paulo with a glass elevator and a garage for roughly 20 cars. A $26 million waterfront plot in Miami. And the crown jewel, the Sky Mansion penthouse in Dubai's Bugatti residences, reportedly $54.5 million, with a private pool in the sky and a car elevator that lifts his supercars directly into the apartment. One honest note, that building is still under construction. He doesn't live there yet. Add a $9 million Cessna private jet and a helicopter he uses the way most of us use a taxi. And this year, Neymar showed it all himself, filming 48 hours of his life. The house with floor-to-ceiling ocean views, a recovery room that looks like a private clinic with its own recovery chamber, the gaming room, 3 giant screens, a monster PC, an enormous chair where he sits in compression recovery boots while he plays. On the wall, framed shirts, Pelé, Ronaldo, Cristiano, Messi, Mbappe. Between matches, poker, prayer with teammates, and his kids. 4 children, a 5th on the way. It looks like the perfect life, the story of a poor kid who won everything. Except he didn't, and this is where the story turns. Because for all those millions, one thing money could never buy him, a healthy body at the right moment. 2014, a home World Cup. A knee in the back fractures his vertebra, and he watches from home as Brazil lose 7-1 to Germany. 2018, a broken foot before the tournament. Then ankle after ankle, year after year. And in October 2023, the worst one, a torn ACL and meniscus, nearly a full year out. It turned the richest contract of his life into a punchline. Saudi club Al-Hilal paid around 90 million euros for him, and injuries limited him to 7 appearances. Roughly 13 million euros in transfer fees per match. In January 2025, they simply agreed to tear up the contract. So he went home, back to Santos, the club of his childhood, taking that massive pay cut to do it. And for a moment, the fairy tale flickered. 5 goals in the last 5 matches to save Santos from relegation, a contract extended through 2026, and one final mission, the World Cup. His 4th, making him only the 2nd Brazilian ever to score at 4 World Cups. The other is Pelé. But in the round of 16, Norway knocked Brazil out, 2-1. Neymar scored a stoppage time penalty, quite possibly the last goal he will ever score for Brazil, and then, in tears, signaled that his national team story was over. 130 matches, 80 goals, more than Pelé's official record, and the only senior trophy in all of it. The 2013 Confederations Cup. No World Cup, no Copa America, no Ballon d'Or, just 2 third places. The most expensive player in history, and the trophy shelf of his national career fits in one hand. But remember the garbage dump? Here's how the story closes the circle. Today, in Jardim Gloria, the exact neighborhood where his family lived next to the landfill, stands the Instituto Neymar Jr., a huge social center serving 3,000 children aged 7 to 17, touching more than 10,000 lives including their families. The kid from the edge of the dump built his monument not in Dubai, not in Miami, but on the street where he had nothing. Neymar has lived a life most of us can't imagine. Mansions, jets, supercars, contracts worth hundreds of millions. But money couldn't protect his body, couldn't win him the Ballon d'Or, and couldn't bring the World Cup back to Brazil. Neymar could buy almost anything, except the ending he wanted. So here's my question for you. Is this one of the greatest careers football has ever seen? Or the greatest what-if in the history of the sport? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to see exactly how Norway ended Neymar's World Cup dream, the story of their secret weapon is already on the channel.